Hello, epic viewers from around the multiverse. Prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another Rhythm Captain Stellar unboxing video is about to be brought to fruition. What items will I be unboxing? What items will I be opening? Without further delay, without further procrastination, allow me to elicit the box. What items are encompassed inside this bulky, hefty, tangible, nifty box? Let's find out. I'm going to demystify an answer to that inquiry right here, right now, so bear with me. It'll only take me billions of picoseconds to extract the items from the box and subsequently flaunt them in front of the camera for you to feast your glorious eyes on. Here we go. The unboxing process is about to commence. The unboxing process is officially underway. The flaps have been opened. Alrighty, which item have I prompted? Here we have the Witch King action figure. Here's the Witch King of Angmar, followed by the Archer action figure. I believe this is a Haradrim Archer. Next we have Frodo Baggins. We have a Morio Orc Archer. I need to place these figurines on my mattress. I hope they're not tainted with bed bugs. That could be a salient issue that would be arduous to rectify. I believe this is a guardian of King Theoden. I believe his name may be Hammer, Gamma, who knows, or Gamling. His name is an enigma. Here we have an Uruk-hai crossbowman. He's wielding his armament. He can unleash arrows into the hearts of his adversaries. He can impale them. He can penetrate through their lungs. We have a Nazgul action figure. We have Legolas. Bomir. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing their names correctly or not. I'm doing everything based on my recollection. Faramir, or Bomir's brother. Do we have the Steward of Gondor? Let's find out. I don't think so. We have Aragorn, the King of Gondor. We have Frodo adorned with orc armor. I believe this is Frodo, as opposed to Sam. Okay, that's what I wanted to render transparent for this video. Actually, let me just showcase one more action figure. We have Lord Elrond. Actually, this is, I think, Gil-galad, who fought against Sauron amid the first stage. So that seems to be about half of the items in the box. They're still relegated to these plastic bags. I'm contemplating whether or not I should remove them from the plastic bags. I just want to real briefly showcase some of them in further detail. Okay, bear with me one brief moment. So just to examine them further, these figurines have incredible aesthetics. They have incredible sculpts. I love their paint applications. I love their shadings. I love their textures. I love their hues. I pretty much love everything about them in every facet. his face is no longer obscured by his mask. He's apparently Frodo Baggins from the Shire. He hails from the Shire, but he's adorned with orc armor in order to be inconspicuous amongst orcs. So I love these figurines because they have ample points of articulation. They seem to lack finger joint articulation, they lack toe articulation, but they do have articulation in their elbows and their knees. They have leg articulation, arm articulation. Their joints penetrate through their pelvis. They emulate the appearances of the Lord of the Rings characters. They're not shoddy in any facet. The only reason why I'm unboxing half of the lot now, and I'll unbox the second half of the Humongous Lord of the Rings action figure a lot later, or the massive Lord of the Rings action figure a lot later, is because I need to organize these figurines. They're dispersed throughout my room. I need to flaunt them on my shelves, and then I could unbox the remainder of the lot. With this figurine, you don't really have an ankle pivot. There's no real ankle rocker. He lacks a diaphragm joint. His cape can be attached. They just look incredible. I love their heraldry. I love their nitty-gritty details. I love their wardrobes. For the most part, these figurines are in pristine condition. I can't pinpoint any major defects, can you? They're just high-quality, stupendous figurines. And they come with their armaments. So the original owner, the seller, he kept them in pristine condition. The integrity of these figurines has unequivocally not been compromised. They're still high quality figurines to this day. Most Lord of the Rings figurines are dilapidated. They haven't aged gracefully, because most people neglect to take care of their Lord of the Rings figurines. Few people do, and it shows. In this context, we have a robust Aragorn figurine. Here's Boromir. So these figurines are from the Lord of the Rings action figure line. They're either derived from the Lord of the Rings of Fellowship of the Ring action figure line, the Lord of the Rings of Two Towers action figure line, or the Lord of the Rings of Return of the King action figure line. It all depends on the specific figurine that you're viewing. So this figurine is obviously a part of the Lord of the Rings of Fellowship of the Ring action figure line. That's where he succumbed to death. Oh, well, he succumbed to death in that movie. That's what I was implicitly conveying. Or that's what I was insinuating. That he must be... I have to deduce that he came from the Lord of the Rings of Fellowship of the Ring action figure line, because he died in the Lord of the Rings of Fellowship of the Ring. So here's Boromir. But when you look at this Aragorn, he's most likely from the Lord of the Rings of Return of the King action figure line, since he's adorned with the armor of the king. Or he's in the attire that he wore amid the battle of the Black Gate. I don't even know if that's the correct name of that particular battle. Here's the horn of Gondor. I love the Lord of the Rings. This figurine is likely derived from the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers action figure line. He's a Haradrim archer, I think. He can project bows. He can beat his adversaries to bloody pulp. This figurine also lacks finger joint articulation. He has articulation in the toes. Actually, he does possess finger joint articulation. You really have to be meticulous to notice it. just examine all his joints and you'll notice that he has toe articulation, finger joint articulation, and articulation in the ankles. He's a high quality figurine. His elbows are double jointed and his knees are double jointed. Despite all this, he doesn't possess a diaphragm joint, which is okay. Unfortunately, most don't have finger joint articulation, but it's not too much of an issue. It's not too much of a gripe. I can cope with the circumstance. These are such high quality, robust figurines. It's not pivotal for them to possess finger joint articulation to be deemed high quality figurines. Look at their armor, their wardrobes, their aesthetics, their details. They're just incredible. I love their sculpts. They coincide eminently well with the 6-inch action figure line. So here are some of the figurines that I unboxed in the video. I love this particular figurine. He's scarce. I'm definitely going to flaunt them on my shelves when I get the chance. He can move his arms inwards and outwards. Most figurines cannot. He has spikes protruding out of his back. He can wield a bow and arrow. He comes with a quiver. He's poised for combat. He's a Witch King of Ingmar. These figurines are just incredible. I believe the weapon has a handle, it comes with a chain, and has a spiky end, or perhaps has a spike ball at the end. Is known by the moniker of a flail, but you can verify that. This isn't a mace. I don't know how to describe it. If I did elucidate the features of this particular item, I would say that it has spikes projecting out of it. It's relatively obscure because it's not akin to the average weapon. It's attached to a chain. It acts as a junction between it and the handle because it connects them. But I think it's a flail. You can verify that for yourself. Who knows? The Witch King of Angmar has a sheath. I don't know where his sword is. I thought that I received all their corresponding weapons. Maybe not. Maybe I received most of their corresponding weapons, but perhaps I didn't receive all of them. So it's a shame and a pity that the sword of the Witch King of Ingmar is missing, but it's not the end of the world, I suppose. I can cope with the circumstances that have befallen upon me. Then we have some more figurines, of course, in the box behind me. Here's Frodo Baggins. I need to open these figurines. It's pivotal that I do so. Why is it imperative? Why would I deem it crucial? I need to make room for more figurines on my mattress. I can't have them clutter my room. Here's his sword, which is Sting. Glows when orcs are nearby his vicinity. This figurine lacks an elbow joint, articulation in the elbow joint, so at least on the right arm. He has sword swinging action, which can be triggered via the button in his back. He can ascend and descend his arm. He has hack and slash action. He can beat his adversaries to a bloody pulp. He can dismember them. He can He can sever them. He can harvest their organs. Well, I'm sure he's not sadistic. I'm sure he wouldn't go to that extreme. The point being is that he could fend off evil, he could ward off evil, he can thwart evil, and he could smite them and bludgeon them if he so chooses to. And if he wants to take it to the next level and become corrupt and villainous and notorious and evil, then he can harvest their organs, although that would be sadistic and unwarranted. But he could do that to orcs if he's characterized by evil, but I don't think he is, so he'll likely abstain and desist from doing the aforementioned actions. He'll just engage orcs in a bout when needed as a last resort to safeguard himself and not to put their lives in peril. So he fights for self-defense reasons, not for offensive reasons. This Gilgalad, perhaps. He's in pristine condition, he's practically unscathed. This figurine is just incredible. So I have figurines from all three of the Lord of the Rings action figure lines. The Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring line, the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers line, and the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King line. And most of these figurines are probably from the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring line. But I'm gratified that I received other ones from other Lord of the Rings action figure lines. I think they become augmented and become enhanced over time, since figurines from the latter lines have finger joint articulation and more features. Some even have toe articulation. This one unequivocally is lacking toe articulation. He's from the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring action figure line. I believe he's King Gilgalad. Is Gilgalad a king? I think so. I think he was an elven king, who knows. Love his shield. Love his spear. I love his facial expression. He's ready to charge into the fray of battle. He's keen about ascertaining victory. I should say he's adamant about ascertaining victory. He has keen senses. He's devoted to protecting his allies and safeguarding Middle-earth from the allies of Sauron, or from his adversaries, who pose a threat against the well-being of the residents of Middle-earth. They have ill-will feelings towards them. Here he is once again, brandishing his armaments. He can bash his adversaries with his shield, or impale them by utilizing his spear. He's a proponent of peace. He's a valiant, noble, stoic warrior. He fights as the last resort. He has the blood of a warrior coursing through his veins, so I have no qualms about this action figure lot. Or I should say I have no qualms about purchasing this action figure lot. That sounded a bit more efficacious. These figurines are high quality figurines. I love their novelties, I love their nitty-gritty details, I love their intricacies. I just love everything about them. I just would have preferred if they all had finger joint articulation, and if they all had diaphragm joints, and if they all had toe articulation, but that's not the case. At least they have peg holes embedded in the bottom of their feet. They're not shoddy figurines in any facet, so I advocate buying Lord of the Rings figurines when you get the chance, if you can stumble upon them for under $4 each via eBay. I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and enthralling. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.